One thing that a lot of people can agree on is that Jay-Z and Beyonce would do literally anything to get their way. Trust me, they don't call him Jehovah for nothing.
I think everybody that knows Sean Carter knows that he will slump anyone in any relationship for $1. Look at how he did Dame.
But how far exactly did they go with 50 Cent? Is it true that they have always tried to sabotage him? Obviously, Jay-Z and 50 are not the best of friends, and for those who recall, everything heated up after G-Unit catapulted to global stardom, dethroning Jay-Z on Forbes Hip Hop Cash Kings list in 2008. And if there's one thing I know about Sean Carter, he does not like not being the best. In fact, at the same time, in an interview with Rolling Stone, 50 agreed and accused Jay-Z of mistreating Rockefeller artists like Benny Siegel and Freeway, with whom he tried to work with, saying he has a king complex. He thinks he's Jesus. You know what I mean? This Jehovah. He said something one time I didn't like. Those little things, subliminal things. For me, that's the punk way to do things. Let's just say that 50 was right about one thing. Jay has a king complex and he would do whatever he needs to get his way. And that includes his wife too, who has no problem even going as far as getting physical. Remember when 50 said Queen Bee almost jumped him in Vegas when he was greeting Jay because she assumed he was confronting him?
So Beyonce jumped down on you.
She jumped down. Oh, she was like on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped down. She was like, duh, duh, duh. And I'm like, wait, what are you doing? That stuff, that's me and Jay-Z stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with you, girl.
Well, 50 was also glad that it was B who confronted him and not her sister Solange, because we all know what would have happened if it was Solange jumping from that windowsill, honey.
Solange was there. I would have had to reboot. Solange was like, she popped in that elevator like it was nothing. There was some gangster shit going on there. Jay couldn't do nothing, huh?
Luckily, things didn't escalate, even though 50 said B was ready to jump on him.
Nah, she came like she was ready. Like I thought something was gonna happen. And I'm like, yo, whoa. You're throwing me off now. Because I don't know exactly how to respond to this. You are still Beyonce. You know, she brought all of the sexy over. With that energy, jumping off and off.
Speaking of Beyonce, allegedly, one of the sacrifices Jay-Z had to make so that they always remain on top is drugging Beyonce.
Hardly nobody knows, but I'll say it, man. Yeah, Beyonce's on drugs. She been on them for a long time, and you keep her that way. Y'all wish it what you wish it to stay on top. But there's one thing about me, bro. I can't be bought.
And one person who certainly agreed that Jay has Beyonce on something heavy to control her and their entire empire is Jaguar Wright.
And the more drugs he pumps down his wife's throat to keep her in a character.
No, girl. Not my beautiful Beyonce 5.
I tell you this right now. Y'all talking about free Britney. Y'all need to be doing a campaign that say free Beyonce.
Beyonce is free.
She is a prisoner in a gilded cage.
Just imagine if he can go to such extents of sacrifices when it comes to his own wife, what more could he possibly do to other people? So much worse, right? At one point, 50 even slammed Jay-Z and Beyonce for sabotaging Nas when they released their album at the same time as him.
Yeah, it was what they did to Nas.
That's
I know what you did to Nas, Jay.
I feel like
Nah, he come out on the same weekend. This still slapping him without everybody noticing what's going on.
Apparently, it went even deeper than that if you really read into it, because Kanye West was the executive producer of the Nas album, and Jay and Kanye have definitely not had the best relationship. And if you ask Kanye, he will probably tell you that Jay and Beyonce are just backstabbing snakes. In fact, he is one of the people they sacrificed and threw under the bus just to get what they wanted. Kanye even once publicly slammed Jay-Z and Beyonce on stage during his concert and claimed that Beyonce blackmailed the VMAs and told them she won't show up unless she wins Video of the Year. And for those who remember, Kanye went on another one of his rants and publicly called out Beyonce and Jay-Z for being controlled.
They can't control me. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No, not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
Not
see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
Anyway, when it comes to 50 Cent, don't even think for a second that the feud is over, because as recently as 2022, Jay-Z tried to sabotage him. Like, Jay purposefully left 50 out of the 2022 Super Bowl halftime commercial, and 50 himself spilled all about it on Big Boy's Neighborhood.
I wasn't in the ad
Right.
because of Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
50 also recalled how Nori confided in him and told him about Eminem petitioning to have 50 Cent included in the show, something that Nori himself also revealed.
I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. And he said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. And he said,
That's
yo,
his guy.
he said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 on.
In addition, 50 also strongly believes that the NFL claims that they had issues with him were really a call by Jay-Z to keep him out of the halftime show ad. Also, just the other day, when 50 appeared on The Beat with Ari Melber, he subtly suggested that with Jay, it's always about business, which means that he would make whatever kind of sacrifice to ensure he is always in business.